Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Lads Discuss Death Battle. As your host, Billy, is here to discuss with Sean, the editor.
Hello, we are talking about Kung Fu today.
And as well as your only mate, who can't think of a joke introduction for him.
I can't think of a joke introduction for myself.
He likes the Netflix series of Iron Fist.
You know, it seems as though
I just said it was okay.
I feel like we're getting worse and worse each time we do these intros. It's starting off pretty well with us, and then it's getting worse. Oh my goodness. I might need to bring Richard and Gyro back in just to give us a good intro, and then kick them off and bring you guys in just to do the rest, and then the good outro. So, yes.
Fired.
So, we are discussing Poe versus Danny Phantom. Yeah, did you guys see that latest episode? did you guys see that? Danny Phantom versus Poe from Kung Fu Panda?
Oh, you know what? They're recording Burbuscast right now. I hope someone brings that up.
If they don't, I'm gonna be disappointed. I made an edit of that and posted it on Twitter.
Okay, no. We're going to be talking about Poe versus Iron Fist. And then we're going to talk about the...
Iron Fist versus Poe, as it's actually titled.
I don't know, man. I feel like Poe versus Iron Fist rolls off the tongue better, you know?
Yeah, I do too, and that's one thing I found a little weird.
I mean, I don't find it weird. I just feel like saying... It's kind of like with Blake versus Mikasa, you know? Instead of Mikasa versus Blake, so it doesn't really... I don't know, it just doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
They aren't the writers.
Yeah, I suppose. We're not the title come-uppers. So, yes, we're going to talk about Iron Fist versus Poe, and then we're going to talk about it next time, and if we have time, a subject that we've been wanting to talk about for a while, but most of the last discussions have been us fanboying and kind of overshadowed it. We'll blame your only mate for that.
Yeah, kind of. Yay!
We can also blame you for Dr. Doom.
Nah,
That's true.
I don't think I ever fanboyed at that. I think I kept my calm and, you know, professionalism through most of that.
You titled the episode that after you fanboying, and your thumbnail also implies that.
I don't think I recalled that at any point. No. So anyway.
Also, I did have a shit ton to talk about with Blake versus Mikasa. just throwing it out there.
There.
Right then. So,
Bill, do you want to start us off?
yes, Poe versus Iron Fist. Now, okay, as much as each episode has been getting better this season, I have to admit, Poe vs. Iron Fist was... Okay, I should clarify, it was not in any way a bad episode. It was, in fact, hilarious. But compared to the previous one, not as exciting, if I had to be honest. And this is funny, because the last episode I didn't really give a crap about, yet that was probably one of my most favourite episodes to watch. And then suddenly the next episode comes out, and I was excited for it, and it was just okay. Like, there were some moments that were definitely highlights. But, honestly... I can't really say it was my favourite episode this season, or I wouldn't even put it in like the top 3, really.
Is there any reason why you would say that? Because from what I'm seeing, it's kind of split actually between people who love this episode and people who don't really like this episode as much.
I have to ask, are you looking in the YouTube comments, or are you looking on Duo Dreamers Discord server?
Or the Rooster Teeth comments.
I don't actually read those.
To be fair, and also keep in mind, I also edited the review for this episode on Richard's channel, and he's one of the people that do love this episode. So I'm kind of want to hear why you're not as big onto it, honestly.
Okay, I will say this. I am in no way saying this is the worst episode this season, or am I saying it's a bad episode. By far, it is a really good episode. But, okay, let me talk about the positives. I feel like there's a little bit more positives to say, and then I can go into details about my negatives. Okay, so first of all, the analysis for Poe was actually really enjoyable, and it's kind of a shame they didn't...
Yeah, it was.
It's kind of a shame, though, they didn't bring up some of the things that I should actually clarify. Leading up to this episode, I was seeing quite a few interesting tweets from the TV show. Like, for instance, there's like this hippo character that literally shoves the Great Wall of China like aside so he can go through it. Like, he literally moves the Great Wall of China. And if you people know how big that wall is, that's fucking crazy. And apparently Poe fought this guy. It was never brought up in the analysis, which I was a bit disappointed by.
I think the Black Tortoise blocking that meteor is a bit more impressive.
That's going to come into one of my negatives when I get to that.
Okay.
But of course, sticking to the positives though. But the fact they went through all the movies and they just, I feel like Ben really just wanted to say there are no accidents. He put that in twice, and it was perfectly used.
Yeah, it was.
I had to admit as well, Wiz was probably the more funnier one this episode. Which is kind of funny because he's usually meant to be not the boring one, but Boomstick's more of the comedic sort.
Yeah, like, Boomstick is the funny man, Wiz is the straight man. Like, that trope.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if he could really be called straight man after his fanboyism for Zuko.
You know what I mean.
He swings both ways. And as far as for Iron Fist stuff, I was actually really impressed to learn that Iron Fist is a really cool character in the comics. Like, I mean, from what I knew of him was from the animated TV show and the Spider-Man cartoon, but obviously TV shows adaptations of comics change a lot of things, like origin stories, of course, and power levels for certain Marvel characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it also depends on like who's doing the show as well.
Yeah, but Iron Fist, honestly, in the comics, this is even in the classic comics. Damn, I did not know he could go toe to toe with like so many crazy Avenger characters like Captain America, Wolverine. Well, it's still debatable whether Wolverine's an Avenger, but the fact he's managed to go toe to toe with Wolverine and Spider-Man, and even managed to, attack him, even though Spider-Man couldn't even track him with his spider sense. That is really impressive. Now, moving on to the actual fight itself, it was pure gold through most of the episode. That Poe fanboying at Iron Fist, like being like, "Oh my god, that's so cool," and then them having a
Even as he's about to get chi thrown at him, just point blank.
so cool,
So cool! Ow! And then pulling down the stairs.
Also, for him to stay focused, he imagined Iron Fist as a dumpling, like.
Twice.
I had
He
to
pulled
actually.
that trope twice.
I had to actually pause that the first time. I was like, "That is such a thing Poe would do in this fight." The bit where he's eating through like Iron Fist staff. I actually did also kind of like the nice callback to when Poe tried to use a staff in his training. Like, I like that they kind of poked fun at it as well. But then the moment Iron Fist tries to do the exact same thing, like it was Monkey he was versing in the first movie with those sticks, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, when Iron Fist tried to donk him on the head like how Monkey did, Poe just decided went nope and just ate it. I was like, yes. Like,
Yeah, because despite him being a panda, Poe never ate bamboo in the movies.
oh yeah, dang.
That's why for a second that was like, wait, what? But I realized, oh right, yeah, pandas eat bamboo.
Yep. Leave it to DreamWorks to forget the one thing that pandas actually do eat.
Well, I mean, to be fair to those films, though, despite the fact that they were a little bit humanized, they actually still remained very animalistic at the same time. The only thing that was different was the food they ate.
One of the things I really appreciate when going back to rewatch them is that they didn't sexualize Tigress in any way. It's just like, yeah, she's the tiger. That's it.
Oh God!
Don't need any. Like, no, I don't want to imagine that.
Ew.
Oh God, that would have been horrible. You were saying, mate?
Yeah, I was just like saying I like that they didn't do that.
Yeah, there was a lot of great callbacks to Kung Fu Panda. Maybe some callbacks to Iron Fist as well in this fight, but obviously I've not read too deep into the comics. My other favourite highlight, the fact that Poe tried the whooshy finger hold and he's like, "Oh, you know this hold," and Iron Fist is just like, "No." Poe's actually surprised, like, "Oh, okay."
I've never met someone who didn't know what this was.
And you know what? I actually really thought, like, hold on a minute. Iron Fist is like known every sort of kung fu and martial art. But then I actually looked it up. The whooshy finger hold isn't a real technique, which I always assumed it was, because the majority of techniques in Kung Fu Panda are genuine techniques. They just made them, you know, more animated and a bit more explosive-y, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
Except for Panda style, but then again, that's based off Dragon style.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, surprisingly, the whooshy finger hold. I mean, obviously, I can't imagine anyone losing a real fight to a little pinky or pointer finger touch thing. I don't even know how that would actually work in a real life fight. But yeah, so I was a bit. So yeah, it kind of makes sense why Iron Fist wouldn't know this hold, because it doesn't exist in his universe.
So I love how every time Poe tries to go for it, he just pulls his finger out.
Yeah, that was convenient. And then he just like, oh, do you want screw it? Well, he doesn't say screw it, but you know, he's just like, oh, just decides to take him to the spirit realm. And this is what kind of leads me to not really a negative. This is going to be more of like nitpicky. As cool as it was that they were in the spirit realm, and then Iron Fist became, what was that spirit form called again? The Heart of the Dragon, the Spirit of the Dragon.
No, Heart of the Dragon is just what he yells when he's surprised.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just a joke. But what's that transformation where he becomes like essentially Iron Fist Ghost Rider?
I actually don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
I'll put it on screen. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, thank you, Sean. You got to rely on the editor to do these things.
Because we don't know it off the top of our heads, okay?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think they even mentioned it in the Death Vows, or maybe they did, and I might have missed it because I was just like, whoa.
They talked about it in his analysis. They just didn't say what it was called.
Yeah.
Actually, and I guess I didn't bring it up as like another positive. I was really excited to see this form fight Poe, because it was like, holy shit, I didn't know Iron Fist had a transformation. This is going to be sick.
Dude, could you imagine if that was in a Netflix show?
Oh, do you know what? That would have made the show worth watching then. And then we actually see him transform into it, and don't get me wrong, the final clash between them looked epic, but honestly, it was kind of disappointed the way just Poe just instantly took him out. And I was just like, oh, it's kind of like in Iron, was it Iron? No, it was in Thor versus Wonder Woman, where they both got into their super transformation or their rage modes. I can't remember what those are called, and it just
the Warrior's Madness, and I think with Wonder Woman it's just her gold mode when she takes the bracelets off.
Thank you, Shiva player. Yeah, so, and that fight ended with just a bonk on the head, Thor going, and then just stabbed through the back of the head. This is honestly that 2.0. You know, it looks epic. I'm not going to deny that. But they do this epic build-up, like, oh, we're going to use our ultimate transformations. Let's go, plunk. Just done. It's like, oh. Okay. Okay, I understand. There's a budget and stuff like that. I mean, it looked expensive for a sprite animation.
Also, I'm just gonna throw this out there. The actual dragons, like, going at it, that was cool to watch.
Yeah, but again, that was very brief. It's like, come on, man, you could have had them. I mean, I wasn't expecting like a Poe versus Kai type of fight, you know, where they're going around the spirit realm, destroying like structures. I don't know. Maybe this is again me just being nitpicky. I'm not trying to find flaw in this because I was really excited for this episode. And again, not saying this is the worst death battle at all. This is still great, but I just kind of wish the final clash was, you know, a bit more oomph, rather than just no, I'm being disintegrated even though transforming is my most powerful form. No, you know, and another.
So, I'm trying to remember all the other death battles where someone died because they were eaten.
Lobo.
Yeah, Lobo, Starscream. God, who else was there?
I don't think there was really that many death battles where a character was eaten to death. I was about to say Ganon versus Bowser, but no, Ganon exploded him.
Ganon won.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you could count Dracula versus Ganon. I mean, he technically was drinking from him.
Oh yeah, but I think Ganon died after he was ripped in half.
Anyway, we're not discussing about eating people out in death battle. We're talking about Alright, so my final complaint about this episode was that feat. The one where that turtle stopped a meteorite, or essentially a planet-destroying one. As epic as that is, and I know they're trying to scale Poe to that, but Poe has never demonstrated a feat anywhere similar to that as far as I've seen. So to give him that was... I don't think it was even needed. I feel like if he didn't have that feat, he still probably would have won.
Oh, yeah, because when they mentioned, he cleared this cloud formation with just his whooshy finger hold, it was in the corner, it just gave over 800 megatons, whereas Iron Fist's best was 150.
Yeah, so... I don't know why they gave him this feat. And I understand this. When it comes to Death Battle now, they do scaling similar to how the Verse community do it. Especially their newer research team were people who did a lot of scaling when they did their own fan-made Death Battles, which I have to give them credit. It's great that they can work on Death Battle now. And I'm not against scaling. I feel like it works for characters like Goku and Vegeta, and maybe Naruto vs Sasuke. But I'm not sure about every series you can scale characters to characters. Maybe not. I don't even think you could scale Superman and Zod together. Despite the fact they're both Kryptonians, Superman's powers seem to work differently with him, whereas Zod's, it does not. And in this similar case, sure, that was an impressive feat that turtle managed to do, but Poe has never shown anything close to that feat. Sure, the wishy finger hold...
To be fair, they gave some reasoning in Poe's analysis, just he has this warrior's chi, which is passed down to a chosen every generation, which also makes Poe comparable to previous owners, like this guy who did this thing.
Right. I think what Bill's trying to say is that if there was a case that Poe has done something kind of like that, he would buy into it more.
Yeah, I'm not saying...
Yeah, I get that. I'm not saying... I'm just giving out their reasoning just to throw it out there.
I understand. And I don't really watch Death Battle for perfect analysis, but stuff like that does kind of bother me, because, I don't know, I just feel like by that logic, couldn't you scale, all the Furious 5 to Poe, because they've all managed to beat him in, fair fight? I'm not even talking about in the first film, I'm talking about afterwards, there's been...
Planet-level Mantis!
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Are we gonna say Mantis can stop a meteor?
A Mantis voiced by Seth Rogen could destroy the planet. Oh, that's funny.
Oh my Lanta.
Okay, if we're gonna have, if they're gonna do that and actually scale Mantis to Poe, can we have Seth Rogen's other character he voices from Invincible, Alan the Alien versus Mantis, which are both super powered beings? Alan the Alien versus Mantis from Kung Fu Panda Death Battle. Get onto this.
I mean, if we had two Tara Strong characters, why not two Seth Rogen characters?
Exactly.
Can we get Seth Rogen voicing both of them somehow?
Oh God. Yeah, again, I don't consider this too much of a negative, but it's kind of what I have against when it comes to scaling certain characters. Like I said, there are characters where it works, like Goku vs Vegeta, like I mentioned, because those two have trained and their ki is very similar to one another, and they always counter one another. It makes sense why to scale them, but characters in Kung Fu Panda seem to have a different type of power scaling, if you know what I mean. In fact, some of them aren't really that powerful; they just use techniques.
Yeah, there are certain series where it does work, others where it really doesn't.
Yeah, but, I get it, it's their way of doing it. I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe look more into feats that Poe has actually performed. This is why I was bringing up the one about the hippo guy moving the Great Wall of China. That would have been epic to compare, hey, Poe managed to deal with this guy who's, I don't know the exact number of how much you need to move the Great Wall of China to open a way for you, but I can imagine it's a lot more than, Iron Fist punching a train that was similar to, as they put it, the Hiroshima. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about, and the way they make it sound as well, it's like they did it in a joking way. I'm talking about the comic when they explained it.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm just
That's a fair point.
To put that JonTron clip in, that one didn't age quite so well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'd say. I do think it's a good episode, and I have watched it a few times. I just wish the finale was better, and I do kind of wish they gave more Poe his own feats rather than just relying on the scaling of this one random character.
To be fair, I think with the scaling, that's just like, okay, this is the biggest benefit of the doubt we could give Poe, just like we did with Iron Fist.
I mean, wasn't the wishy finger hold moving the clouds kind of the benefit of the doubt, which was already way more powerful?
Also, to be fair, that was before Poe like knew what chi was. But this is now like, okay, with chi, this is the best he could potentially do.
So, who should go next? Because I'm not sure if Mate or you, Sean, have a long opinion about this episode.
Oh, last time we did a discussion, we had me go next, but to be fair, that was like Blake versus Mikasa, so I can go next if you want to try to keep that order again.
I mean, I don't have an order. I just randomly shout out to one of you guys.
Fair.
Alright, so Sean, what do you think of this episode?
So, I'm in the mix of kind of like Bill. I thought this episode was okay. I think it was a funny episode. That's for sure. But I feel like one of the problems was the episode it was following as well. Like, it kind of had to live up to that. Which made me feel kind of bad for it. It was definitely a funny analysis and like a funny fight for sure. But it was okay. Austin Lee Matthews, the guy who did Poe, is the best part about this animation.
Oh
in
my
general.
god, he was perfect.
Okay, do you want, yeah, he was really great. I'm really disappointed I didn't shout him out, man. He was like the best Poe that they could have gotten.
This guy even changed his profile picture to Poe.
Oh no, he loves Poe. Like, Poe is one of his favorite characters in anything.
Aw,
Yes.
that's cute.
So the fact he got to voice him in Death Battle, that is amazing.
And this was also a call out from Mate, actually, when we were talking about this. He wanted Austin to voice this guy.
That was because of what Max told me.
Oh,
Fair.
nice.
And meanwhile, the speculation was, oh my god, they're going to finally get Brock Baker. It's fine, but come on, let the guy have his moment. And then we
Well,
get
like so
to...
many people saying, oh my god, they actually got Jack Black.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I really thought they did as well. I mean, he could have actually done it. He's not contracted to DreamWorks anymore.
Or they could just get him to voice in a Death Battle.
I mean, yeah, he's got a
Right.
YouTube channel. They could reach out to him.
Or he could do a reaction to this episode, hopefully.
And
That
We
would
can
be
only
awesome.
hope. We can only hope at this point.
And not charge money for it.
Oh yeah, like a certain person. I won't say who.
Let's just say he made me red with anger.
And that's one thing I'll give a ton of praise to Butch Hartman for. It's just public and free on YouTube.
Man, I never thought we ever live in a time period where a certain actor who was respected does something scummy, whereas a really scummy guy actually does something noble. What is this, the Upside Down?
I mean, maybe we're upside down right now. Who knows?
You're going to have to edit that now. You're going to have to edit this image upside down.
Oh, that's easy to do.
Oh, I actually find it really hard to do. So anyway,
But
Sean.
there was also Jonathan. Was the name of the voice actor for Danny, not Jordan. Those of you who don't get that reference, go watch the review on Saber King's channel.
Oh god, did Richard get something else wrong?
He called him Jordan.
So is this title just gonna be Poe vs. Iron Fist, while also calling out Richard?
Richard, if you do watch this, we do love you, man. We're just having fun.
I even pointed this out to him as I was editing it too. That's the thing. I pointed it out to him, and he's like, "Crap."
Poor guy.
But Jonathan, it was his first time on a death battle.
Oh wow.
And he voiced Danny Rand, and I think he did pretty good. Because
Yeah, I would say so.
from what I've seen, Iron Fist has had a lot of different voices over the years. This one reminded me of the what's this Earth's Mightiest Heroes? It reminded me of the cartoon he was in with Luke Cage.
No, I would definitely say
Not
it
the
was.
Spider-Man one.
I was actually gonna say I feel like this one was more of like a mature Ultimate Spider-Man version.
I mean, yeah, but then again, that was Kevin 11 voicing him at the time, so it's kind of hard to top that.
Oh, I can never unsee that now. Now I'm just picturing.
It was also Beast Boy.
Wait, are you serious? Beast Boy was voiced by the same actor who voiced Kevin 11.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I just cannot unsee that now. Now I'm just waiting for the Kevin 11 just to scream Heart of the Dragon.
And you know what else? That guy does a podcast with Tara Strong called The Ship It Show.
Yes.
And this guy gets around.
Yeah, and
Apparently.
they did a couple of podcasts like with the Death Battle crew, and they talked about the idea of maybe one day doing Ben 10 versus Beast Boy, but having them voice in the fight.
I would not be down. I mean, I would definitely be down for that.
I'm down for it if we stick to classic Ben 10. No,
I
don't
agree.
bring in any alien force or anything else beyond that.
I mean,
Yeah.
even then, I feel like Beast Boy
Think it's
doesn't really
fair.
win.
But,
I mean, it's just like the second you bring in Alien X, it's just like, oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ, we're dead to a celestial sapien.
Unless you're a lantern.
Oof.
That's why we love you, Hal.
I ain't touching
But
that. I ain't touching that.
but
Anyway,
I thought
back to the Kung Fu guy fighting the Kung Fu Panda.
yes, I thought he did a really great job, and I love the chemistry they kind of had in their dialogues. Honestly,
It's like one of those like wholesome startups.
Unfortunately, it ended with
Kinda like-
a sad ending.
But they all end with a sad ending.
Well, Mickey Mouse
It's just
versus
like one
Yoda
towards
was
the other.
Mickey Mouse and Yoda was a bit peaceful-ish.
Okay, yeah, true.
I mean, to quote Richard again, this kind of felt like All Might versus Might guy, as far as like the dialogue and the banter between these two, which I definitely get. Then there was the soundtrack. I'll briefly bring this up: Dragon and Dumplings.
Yeah, not the best.
It's not for me personally, but other people seem to enjoy it.
I think it's just the name, and I don't even remember any like epic tunes that really came into it.
I feel like it got epic around like the ending.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for the brief 20 seconds.
I think overall, though, this episode was just fine. If they did this episode like, let's say they did this one after Lex versus Doom, I think it would have done better because, oddly enough, this has been the first episode so far this season, to my knowledge, that hasn't gotten on trending.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I've been refreshing Death Battle Wiki to see if like anyone posted about that, but like no, it didn't trend on YouTube.
Now,
really
there
think-
could be like different reasons why it didn't get on trending, but considering every other episode up to this one got on trending, it's just a little bit weird.
Yeah, even like
Because on the
Shadow-
surface, everyone was really excited for this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, even Shadow vs. Ryuko got on trending.
Yeah, and no offense to Ryoko fans, but her show's not really that popular, at least compared to like some of the other shows that have been on it, or characters that have been on here.
Also, before anyone asks, no, it's not because there's a Marvel character there. Lex vs. Doom got on trending.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Iron Fist's popularity has gotten like... Well, I wouldn't say he's gotten popular, but even as shitty as the Netflix series was, he has a mildly... I'll definitely say he's, as Jaro put it, a C-tier comic character in terms of popularity.
Fair. It's like, there's Poe. Everyone loves Poe.
That's what just makes me think, maybe like Poe isn't as popular as we thought. Maybe it was more popular to kids, and because we grew up with him, maybe we're the ones. I might put it to a test. I might ask some people in work tomorrow and see if they know about Kung Fu Panda.
I don't know.
Again, there could be a bunch of different reasons why, but that just really sticks out to me, oddly enough. And compared to the other 2D sprite fights we had, yes, this was probably the best puppet sprite work we've had, but this is still not my favorite 2D sprite fight. That still goes to Heihachi versus Geese.
That was a pretty good episode.
Ryuko the way for me.
I mean, that's also a pretty decent one, honestly.
Is there anything else you got to say?
But overall, good analysis. Fight was just meh. Funniest episode we've had so far this season. And I believe that's everything I can say.
Then I guess we shall pass this over to...
Okay, then...
Y'all were correct, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Once again. So I guess now we'll throw the dumpling to your only mate.
Okay.
Okay, so... Yeah, I really like this episode, and I'll absolutely agree with Sean. It's probably the funniest of this season. Good fight. Love the analysis for Poe. Really like the analysis for Iron Fist as well. Like, I did not know that he actually set up a soup kitchen and helped out in communities a lot. When I first heard that, I was just thinking to myself, "Oh, this is so wholesome."
That's what I did say. He is pretty much Kung Fu Spider-Man.
Yeah, like what? See, that's something I feel like the Netflix series should have highlighted as well. Like, yeah, he did some stuff in that was just like, wow, mad respect there. But maybe if they went like a few further steps, then it would have been better. Voice acting, top notch. Fight was good, but I kind of have to agree with Billy and Proboscis, I think. It's just I didn't feel like there were that many exciting moments in it. Although, to be fair, it's Poe and Iron Fist. Like, I wasn't really going into this expecting it to be like a epic fight or anything. I was just expecting to laugh, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I suppose if you are... That's a problem, though, I think, as well, this episode. If you're going into it expecting the Kung Fu Panda humor, you're going to get it. But let's say you're going into this as an Iron Fist fan. One, Iron Fist is lost. But can you think of an Iron Fist moment that stuck out?
Transformation, maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah, maybe the transformation, that's about it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you're a Kung Fu Panda fan, I feel like they're gonna love this episode.
Yeah, and the soundtrack. This is something I've noticed with like some Death Battles, where it's just like you have some tracks where it works best as a backing track, but not something you'd want to listen to on its own. Something you'd want to listen to on its own, but isn't quite the best backing track for the episode, or you've got some that are both. I'll be honest, I barely notice the soundtrack sometimes.
Oof.
So I think, like, aside from like the last bit, I feel like this is one where it's just like, yeah, it's great for in the background of the fight, so it does its job well, but it's not something I'm gonna like want to listen to on its own. Like, let's say Chaos Unraveled or Thunder Shroud.
Yeah, which I kind of feel bad for it, because the musicians do put a lot of effort into these soundtracks. It's not just, oh, I'll just remix some stuff and send it to you and you give me money. No, they try and blend in both characters' themes in a way.
Yeah, and I can definitely hear some Kung Fu Panda stuff in there.
Also, apparently, like, they animate as the fight happens, I believe is something.
Yeah, that's another thing. They have to make it work with the fight. So they see the animation, and they're just like, okay, so this is a cue, I'll go with this bit. Like, because you get some fights where characters do something that are in time with the music. That's why.
And that's why I love Shonen Showdown so much out of all the Death Battle tracks.
Yeah, like, Billy, go back to Genesis vs. War Machine. There are those bits in the soundtrack where it goes dun, 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 dun. Like you hear the dun bit as Genesis is putting himself back together.
Do you know, that's actually a good comparison, because when you go back to listen to those soundtracks, those are so memorable, because even if you're listening to the music, I don't know, let's say you're on your way to work and just listening to it, you can even put the fight in your head, because, I know where this beat goes to. Like the War Machine, like, ugly, this is my Sunday best. Like, I knew the exact beat that goes with that. But this fight, believe it or not, I was actually listening to it now. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine the fight at this bit. The only one I can imagine is, I'm at it now, where he falls down the stairs, but that's really noticeable.
Yeah, and as for exciting stuff, like, yeah, the last little bit where they go into their dragon modes, that was cool. It was just a bit brief. So I kind of have to agree with Bill on, like, that bit. Also, I've seen a lot of people say the kill was kind of not the best.
I mean, logically, how else was Poe gonna defeat Iron Fist that fit his character? If they did something completely out of character, people would probably hate it even more.
Yeah, and like I had that idea with like, what if the Wushy Fingerhold is the finisher? One, turns out that wouldn't work. Two, yeah, I was thinking about it more and I thought, okay, yeah, that'd be kind of lame, honestly. But yeah, overall from this episode, I just wanted to laugh, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
So, funniest of the season so far, absolutely.
So, just be clear, none of us hate this episode. We just think compared to the other episodes we had before it, we just don't think this one is top notch.
Yeah. Also, I'm just throw this out there with all the like personal stuff happening. I don't think any death battle is going to top Blake versus Mikasa for me, like ever. So, yeah.
So, we've all said our piece, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, even though this episode wasn't that much of a gem, we are getting potentially a gem fight next time.
Yep, you say that as I look out to all the stars throughout the universe.
You guys are really forcing all these, aren't you?
Yeah, Sean's the better at segue, and we should just let him be the segue man.
Well, we've already cut to it. For clarification's sake, since next time, obviously, is Steven Universe versus Star Butterfly. Oop, turn my headset down, and now I can't hear anybody. One sec.
Well, we can hear you.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Professionalism, people.
No, everyone just went quiet on my end. That was weird. But I was going to say, Maid is not really familiar with these shows.
I have heard
has
some stuff about them.
Yes, Bill is probably in our podcast, at least the person who knows the most about Star Butterfly.
I have only watched season 1 of her show on Disney Plus.
That's more than me and Maid, honestly.
Yeah, this one is probably going to be an episode where we're kind of going into this, looking into these new characters, which I like in Death Battle. It probably might be an unpopular opinion, but I look forward to more Death Battles with characters I don't know of, rather than ones I do know of. I like seeing characters I'm familiar with, but when it's a new franchise, I'm always like, let's see what this character can do. And let's see what makes them so interesting.
We've actually got a lot of new franchises this season. Like we got Kill la Kill, Attack on Titan, Steven Universe, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, so all the complaints people had about too many Marvel and DC franchises from last season, I feel like that's been redeemed at this point.
Which, by the way, shout out to Robuscus. He went and compared the first episodes of last season, well, 7 episodes of last season, and the 7 episodes we have. last season's first 7 episodes, all 14 combatants, 43% of them were Marvel or DC.
Which, again, I'm not too fussed on, but I get why people were annoyed with it.
Whereas with this season, out of 14, only 21% are Marvel or DC. So, yeah, that's a big difference.
Yes.
It is, and keep in mind, this map was done with the first 7 episodes, not just like first half.
Actually, speaking of first half, this is the penultimate of this first half.
Should we actually talk about the episode?
Yeah.
We kind of are, and honestly, because Lewis has confirmed that this is going to be a sprite fight.
It makes sense.
I have to admit, I thought this would have been perfect for a hand-drawn episode.
I mean, it makes sense because for those of you who didn't really notice, we had a new animator for Poe versus Iron Fist by the name of Origin, and
I heard about this.
he actually animated Steven versus Star years ago. So most likely we're going to see Origin kind of remaster his work.
Okay, I actually forgotten he did that for battle mode.
He did, and the fact that I'm hoping he's one of the leading animators for this, honestly. Yeah, I know he's new, but he knows how to work with these sprites a lot.
I think he even done some fan-made alternative endings, which almost looked like they were taken from a sort of deleted death battle.
Wait, was he the one who did the Ben 10 vs Green Lantern? Where Alien X follows Hal back in time, says "nice try," takes the ring off, and then erases him.
Yeah, and
I don't think that was him. I think was that him? It might have been.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
I saw someone do that.
Yeah, it was him. I think he also did the Sasuke versus Height. What was the name of that guy again?
EA.
Whatever. Like I said, that episode left a bitter taste in my mouth. I resent that character with the Triclops. Yeah, we should probably actually talk about this episode because we are at the 40-minute mark.
Alright,
I guess I'll...
do we want May to start off since he's not as familiar with these characters then?
Yeah,
I
that
have
makes
a
sense.
fun fact. I have a fun fact about this matchup.
Go ahead, May.
This is Death Battle's first LGBT versus LGBT matchup.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a first. I'm just throwing that out there.
Fact of the day, people.
Yay!
I don't watch either show, so I'm going into this completely blind. There are some things about this matchup and about at least one of the characters I have heard from some prediction videos and other things that I heard just around. I found some a lot of people talk about this and it's kind of ironic.
Mm-hmm.
So to use some versus community terms here, a lot of people cap Steven Universe as star level, whereas Star Butterfly is universal.
Okay, that is
the irony.
I find that funny.
Okay, can I actually ask, and this might be just I'm not really hip with the verse community, lads. What is star level? Does that mean the character's more powerful than a supernova? They're more powerful than a sun?
I think that means it's either they can tank that much, or they could dish out that much power.
Right, because that's the other question. So it could either be when they say they're star level, they either just dish it out or they can resist it.
Right.
Does that mean there's a separate section where it says their durability is star level, but their attack output is this level?
I mean, some people combine the two. If you can dish out this much, then you should be able to take that much as well.
That's stupid logic. like just be okay. Listen, I can break a plank of wood. That doesn't mean I can. That doesn't mean I can survive a plank of wood hitting me in the face.
But anyway, the thing I was gonna get to with this, I know Steven has a lot of like defenses and shields and stuff. So from what I've been led to believe, the whole debate comes down to, can Star get through those? If she can, she wins. If she can't, she loses. But
I'll bring more stuff about Steven, but you're not too far off.
And with some stuff I've heard, like either Star's wand is capable of doing, she should be able to get through those. So just based on what little I know, I'm gonna go with Star Butterfly, I guess.
Okay.
And people have brought up feat of like universe destroying stuff, so
well,
yeah.
That's actually. Have you said your piece? Because I was actually going to contribute to the Star thing.
Go ahead.
Even though I don't know too much about Steven, aside from a few clips I've seen on YouTube and a few YouTubers I used to watch that used to talk about the show. Yeah, I'm rooting for, not rooting for Star. I mean, she's a funny character, but I still need to watch more of the show to really say if I like her. But yeah, just from this first season, yeah, I think Star's going to win. Because her wand can literally do what she so demands it, as long as, she remains focused.
Sorry, Billy. As soon as you said Star's going to win, I heard someone in the background of like one of your mics like, "What are you doing?"
Really?
I don't know whose end that was on, but that was funny.
I think that was my dad.
Oh, really?
My dad!
I'm sorry, Sean's dad, but I am standing by this. But yeah, just from the first season, Star seems like she's more than capable of dealing with someone like Steven. Again, I haven't finished the entire series of Steven Universe, but from what I've even in the verse community and people in Duo's Discord server says Star Butterfly stomps. I have learned never to always rely on them. One, they said Hulk was going to win, Sasuke was going to win. Who else did they say was going to? Geese was going to win.
And
I think if we go by the G1 prediction blog, they also said Saberwolf was going to beat John Talbane.
Yeah, and as a Killer Instinct fan, you know what? It broke my heart to admit he was not going to win.
Yeah, Darkstalkers gets insane.
Yeah, so... just to talk about some things started like the whole thing about her magic, like just from the first episode, when she didn't... The moment she got it, she was super excited, but the fact she didn't remain control over her excitement, she did cause a lot of distraction on her first day with it. So she had to essentially get sent to the... I might be butchering like the whole theme of the story. I think she gets sent to our reality to sort of learn, that her powers need to be controlled in like a more sensitive environment. Because even though her universe or her world can handle that sort of magic, our reality can't. So she needs to sort of control her powers just so she can fight, as the show says, the forces of evil.
indeed.
And it's pretty much like, I guess in a way, you could compare it to like Cosmo and Wanda. Whatever you wish you want, as long as it doesn't break the rules, it will do it. That's
not a bad way of looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, even then, even if you... I mean, I say that, but it's more the fact that, whatever they wish for, it arrives. But there are some rules that, she can break. Obviously, I don't think she... As far as I say, I don't think she's allowed to kill people with this magic, but she can find ways around it, to destroy the evil. She can't just say, "I wish for this villain to be dead." Blurk! She can't do that. She has to kind of think outside the box and then, use her magic to find a way to defeat them.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as what I've seen of Steven from the reviews I used to watch of this character, I don't think he's screwed. He definitely could deflect a lot of her attacks. And I do think, in terms of combat, I feel like Steven's been into more like heavy war scenarios, whereas Star is more or less like your, again, bringing them up, kind of like your Spider-Man superhero, where she's going on about her day, and then the moment something bad happens, she jumps into the action. Whereas Steven's always training to protect people, and he was even training for war. So I do think he might have combat experience, because
It's weird. This is making me think of Spider-Man versus Batman.
I guess in a way it is.
Perhaps.
Again though, like, people, if you're watching this, do take what I say about Stephen with a grain of salt. Like I said, I've only seen clips of his character and what he does. I'm more familiar with Star only from season 1, so if Stephen actually turns out to be Goku 2.0, then hey. At least I'll finally be. Well,
So I gotta quickly. Sorry, I gotta quickly interject to ask Sean something. Does Steven ever get referred to by either pronoun?
He's mostly known as like a boy, from like the gems and his dad.
Oh.
The LGBT thing stuff is mostly referring to like the crystal gems, honestly.
Oh, okay. I thought I read some stuff, but. Okay, anyway, just go on. I wanted to clear something up.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty much wrapping up now. Yeah, as far as Steve and Star is, I'm thinking Star wins, just from what I've seen of season 1. I mean, I'm gonna probably binge the rest of the show on Friday, and I'll see if I'm right, or I might see if I'm wrong. So I guess we'll make Sean the star of his discussion right now.
And the universe has centered itself around me once again.
Wow, 2 puns in a row. You're gonna break the counter.
What bosses were at work for that?
And
Okay, now that one was just terrible.
And now it's broken.
Great. But I do know more about Steven, to be fair, and I do have some expectations, like, overall of the episode. Mostly, I hope for a really good voice actor for Steven, because later on in the show, you do notice he sounds more mature, but he's still played by the same voice actor.
I've heard that. Well, a lot of people speculate that Caden is going to be voicing in this episode.
Maybe. But I'm not familiar with how Star sounds, so maybe Star will sound great.
Imagine
I'm kind of clueless on both.
Imagine a more kind-hearted Tara Strong Harley Quinn. So basically Penny from Big Bang Theory. Wait, is it Penny? Wait, who was Howard's girlfriend's name again, mate? Was it Penny? Or was that
That's Bernadette.
Okay. God, it's been a while since I watched Big Bang Theory. I need to watch it again at some point. Anyway, Sean, continue.
Fair. Here's the thing. Steven is not entirely screwed. He is a very defensive tank. And plus, he has the ability, I've seen people suggest that this could happen, he can technically bubble Star, or even Star's wand. You're gonna have to describe what bubble is. Okay, so in the show, Steven gets the ability to bubble other gems and stuff. He contains this in like his little like shield spear he can conjure from his gem. Mm-hmm. Like put it forward. Think of it like how Booster Gold put his shield around Cable, for example. Think of it kind of like that.
Oh.
Okay, and when people are bubbled, can they break out through sheer force and power, or is it like nullified while they're inside of it?
I mean, I think it's possible. Steven has mostly used the bubble around like objects and like other gems mostly. The only time he ever bubbles people is when he's protecting either like his friends or himself. And eventually, he mastered the bubble so much that he got his own like little Captain America shield he can conjure like at will. But besides that, Steven does have another weakness that all crystal gems do. People will kind of forget this, but it's not just Star has to break through like the barriers and stuff.
Oh no, I think I've heard this.
She needs to break the gem. She has to break Steven's gem if she's going to win.
Interesting. And do you know, actually, something I didn't actually mention, The whole gimmick, well, I'm not sure if this is going to be the whole gimmick, but in Star versus the Forces of Evil, she has a friend that she meets in the first episode called Marco. So while she's more the mage and magical person, Marco's the more physical fighter, and they both sort of have to work together to try and use their main abilities to win a fight. But when Star doesn't have her wand, she's pretty useless, as far as season 1 is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are some feats that I'm expecting them to cover that Steven can kind of compare to. For example, one of the biggest ones I hope they go over in this death battle is Lapis Lazuli taking the ocean of the entire Earth and going into space.
Wow.
That is seriously something that happens in the show.
Man, this show sounds bonkers.
Yeah, and Steven is a pretty good fighter. He is more trained than Star is because the Crystal Gems are warriors that have fought in wars, and Steven's fought in a war before, so he has a bunch of different training going for him. So he's not entirely screwed. I think people mostly think it's a stomp because of power output alone. That's not going to be Star's big win condition. Because from what I heard initially, this is going to be like Lucario versus Renamon again, where Star is kind of like a glass tank, whereas Steven's like a defensive bunker. But I do think that Star has more available win conditions than Steven does. So I think logically I'm gonna have to go for Star.
Well, 3 of us going for the same person again.
Oh, for Christ's
Well,
sake. What was the whole point of doing this bet?
I know.
I don't know, it was your idea.
It sounded
At least
fun.
we're putting logic behind what we're saying, though, instead of just going with our gut instinct, though. That's something to keep in mind.
I'm going with my gut instincts, though, for Star. And I kind of went for it with Geese Howard versus Hayachi.
Right, but like...
Yeah, with Hayachi versus Geese, I trusted a friend, and then it paid off.
Yeah.
I feel
The thing is, Star has more win conditions than Steven does. Yes, Steven can bubble Star's wand, but people are saying, oh, well, Star doesn't exactly need her wand. And if that's the case, then all Star really has to do besides get past those defenses and like vaporize Steven is just destroy the gem, honestly.
And, like, I've heard the Universal stuff. Like, apparently it's not done by Star herself, but it's other characters using her wand to do it.
I hope they don't do the Poe and that turtle thing and they scale her to that character.
I mean, if it's like the power in that wand, then in theory she should have access to that kind of power.
Yeah, but she has not... again, as far as I've seen in Season 1, she doesn't really use that much of its power.
Plus, also a thing to consider is Steven is more like a diplomat. He didn't beat the diamonds by force. He kind of did it with the power of friendship.
Oh god, it's a Western anime.
Oh god, I imagine what Boomstick's gonna be like about this show.
Essentially, yeah, but I do think they are going to scale Steven to some of the gems because he's trained with the gems, and the gems have tried, to fight Steven when they were mind controlled, of course. So I think scaling to them like that is a fair thing to do. As far as Steven's defenses go.
Let's ask, can Star, like, summon her wand, like, whenever she wants, like with King Mickey and his Keyblade?
Yeah, I think she can actually. I think I remember some points in the season when she got the wand, I think she could just summon it to her. But I think that also
in theory, even if it gets bubbled, she could just be like, and in my hand.
Maybe. But I think it's like a 4 thing where she can't just make it appear. I think she has to, like, summon it.
Oh.
Yeah, so in theory she'll just end up summoning it with the bubble around it.
I think, though, overall, this episode is going to live up to everyone's expectation, because this was the most requested fight back when I did the tier list video for that meme.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted this fight, and I'm happy they're finally getting it.
Right.
I think literally after Season 1, people started requesting this. Because, as people put it, Star versus the Forces of Evil became Disney's Steven Universe.
Yeah. And these were like cartoons made in like 2014, by the way.
Wow, they're that old?
So this isn't just something that just. Yeah, this isn't just something that just popped up randomly. These cartoons have been around for a while.
Hold on, are you saying that Steven Universe came out at the same time as Adventure Time?
I believe so. I'm gonna double check that
Wow, 'cause that's
real quick.
I always tuned in to watch Adventure Time, so I'm really surprised at no point I even saw Steven Universe.
Steven Universe came out in 2013.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit
And I
of a
think
shock.
overall, yeah, it is a little bit of a shock. But overall, this episode's got so much potential in a lot of different ways, whether it's voice acting or soundtrack, because Steven Universe is known for its solid soundtracks. But as much as I want to root for Steven, I think Star does have more win conditions than Steven does, which makes me sad because we all are agreeing essentially again that Star's going to win.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this whole betting game we made is not going out as I planned.
It's possible we could be wrong, though. Let's just all keep this in mind. It's possible we are wrong.
Oh, so then we just don't all go up a point. I mean,
We'll all finally be wrong and we'll all celebrate, but then realize we're all tied.
yeah, it's kind of funny that our win streak has gone on for this long.
I also just find it funny whenever I look at the progress of this year's Hall of Fame.
Really?
And I realized not long ago, if not for Blake, then that Hall of Fame would be a sausage fest. Like, Blake's the only goal.
Hot damn.
Also, another bizarre reason people can pick Star Butterfly. The theme of this season has been animals, and the animals have been winning. What is Star's last name again?
Oh, for God's sake.
Wait. That didn't work for geese.
That is true, but, you know.
Star has wings.
Oh.
Geese does.
Okay, never mind.
And not only that,
Okay, so we had a mouse, a hedgehog, a cat, a panda, butterfly.
Oh,
What's next?
Mantis versus Alan the Alien. So Sean, have you finished everything you said?
Yeah. Yeah, that's everything I gotta say.
Alright then.